Hello, Money Multipliers. Welcome back to another episode of the Money Multiplier podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Kessler, and we ask ourselves, do our dollars make sense? So today I'm back at home. I'm home for a few weeks. I've been on the road. I was in Mexico. Before that, I was in Phoenix, California. I was in the Bahamas for a little bit. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot of summer travels, but it's been fun. I've been hanging out with the crew because, as you know, all of us money mentors and the Money Multiplier team were all around the country. And so that's kind of the beauty of today's day and age is doesn't matter where you're at in the world. As long as I got my computer, my cell phone, Wi-Fi reception, I can work off of my hotspot. That's how I do it when I'm living my van life. I could be anywhere in the world. So I do have a lot of upcoming events coming too. I'll be back in Rancho Cucamonga, California, coming up in this month of August. This month is also my birthday month, so hello to all my Leo people. It's our month, and as y'all know, being a Leo, we got to celebrate the whole entire damn month of August. So anyways, I'm in very good spirits today. It's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of fun. I know I shared with y'all, I was kind of struggling with a little bit of burnout there for a little bit. So taking some time off, not doing so many phone calls and strategy calls has really got me back to my grounded self and getting back on to just keep helping and serving the community. So that's why I think this episode today is so important, because your health is your wealth. I know we hear that a lot, but you can't fill up other people's cups if your cup is not filled up to that true potential as well. So it's important to take breaks, and it's important to take time away from the business to go and spend on yourself, your friends, and your family, and just get reconnected with your people. So that's what I've been kind of up to. It's been a great summer. But before I get into the topics I want to talk about today on this episode, I want to share a short little story that happened this week. So actually my aunt, Aunt Sandy, she is coming on board, and she's wanting to be a mentor and teaching other people in her community about the infinite banking concept. So she's been doing a lot of shadowing with me. I've been helping her train and really answering these questions that we get a lot from our clients and how we should be answering them to communicate the message of IBC properly to the community. But she came back and she was actually talking about it's my second cousin. Okay, so her name is Nicole, and so she is my mama's cousin. So I think it is my second cousin. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. But back in the day, because my family, right? So my family got into this concept back in 2008. Heard about it in 2006, thought it was too good to be true. So never started till 2008 because my dad's chiropractic colleagues had to go out and be the guinea pigs to this concept before he says, okay, there might be something here. I think I got to really start taking action on it. And so when my family started practicing this, that's when we started talking to our family about this, how powerful this concept really is. And so it was my second cousin, Nicole, she started her policy about 10 years ago. Well, long story short, this all happened before I even got into the business. So I started getting into the business around the ages of 17, 18. And, Nicole had a policy and she actually let it surrender. She surrendered her policy, or AKA canceled it. And the reason that she canceled that policy is because her father, or AKA my mother's uncle, and my mother's dad, or AKA my grandpa, they were in her ear. She was listening to all the noise out there saying, Nicole, this is stupid. Why are you listening to the Kesslers? Did you know that actually the Kesslers are going to show up on American Greed one day? You should not be taking advice from the Kesslers. And so she went into into her policy and she canceled it. She surrendered that policy. And now she's coming back around because she's seen all of the freedom that my immediate family is doing within our policies. And she's coming back around and she's like, oh my gosh, I totally regret this. I cannot believe I let other people dictate my decision to cancel this policy. And I should have never had that happen. And so now she's coming back saying, hey, Hannah, I want to start my policy again. And I'm sitting over here thinking, Nicole, that was stupid. That was ridiculous that you let your policy cancel, because you could have been 10 years into this and all of that compounding growth that was happening in that policy for 10 years. So now she's back. She wants to start again. And this is just my big PSA for the community. If you've ever heard this saying that you cannot be a prophet in your own town, I know it's very hard, and it's a truth that we just got to come to terms in that this is something that could happen, and you might be experiencing this in your own life, talking with your friends and your family about this concept. But sometimes you got to fire your friends and your family members because they could be the biggest ones that are holding you back. I mean, two things I want to kind of touch on this. Number one, when my dad made the transition from selling his chiropractic clinics to being an educator and a mentor on this infinite banking concept and being an IBC practitioner full time. I mean, my grandpa, mom's dad, was saying, Brent, that's stupid. You're such a successful chiropractor. Why would you go and close all of those clinics to go out and teach this concept full time? So, and let me tell you, I mean, it's nutty, Yeah, dad was a very successful chiropractor making $1 million a year, but who in the hell cares if he's making $1 million if his overhead is $970,000? As dad has always taught me, it doesn't matter how much you make, it only matters how much you keep, right? So your friends and your family could be the biggest ones holding you back. And I get it. They are there. They want to make sure that they're protecting you and they want to see you live a fulfilled life. And it's just because they don't understand all of this stuff. They don't get it to that full capacity of the reasons of why and the power behind the banking function and taking back the control of our money. So, that's just one example. But the reason that Nicole really did that and canceled her policy is because her dad and her uncle, my papa, they were in her ear saying, Nicole, this is stupid. Look right here. If you were to go and put your money into the stock market for 17 years, look at where you would be at in 17 years versus the policy. And as my followers, tuning into this stuff and being consumers of this, practicing this concept in your everyday life, I mean, that this is not the either or, this is the and asset. All I'm doing over here is instead of keeping my wealth held down at the commercial banks where the bankers are making all of the profits and the good living off of my money, I'm just holding my wealth inside of my policies, my privatized banking system. And then through the policy, if you want to go and invest into the stock market or real estate or gold and silver, whatever you like, know, and understand to go invest the money in, use the policy cash values to go and do so. It's the and asset. It's not the either or. So she just didn't get it. And she had those other people in her ear saying, no, you shouldn't be doing this. And I understand that she kind of puts those people up on a pedestal because, hey, this is my father and I really trust my father's guidance here, but they do not know. And I say this all the time. Think for yourself and question. Stop taking advice from your broke ass brother-in-law and start really taking that advice and living the lifestyle and taking the steps that you see these other people who are living the lifestyle that you want to live. Learn from them. Take the advice from those people and stop taking advice from your brother-in-law who's still flipping burgers at Burger King because he thinks he knows what is best because he's investing in crypto and look at all this stuff that I'm making in crypto. Y'all, this is not the investment. The policy is just the place where I warehouse, store, protect the money, get out of the government's hair, get out of the market volatility to then go make my investments that involve risk, right? So no, I'm not just going to put my money into the markets versus doing the policy. I'm going to run the money through the policy and then go place it into the markets if that's what I like, know, and understand. So I thought it was just kind of funny because every day I read my daily devotions here, and it was just funny because literally this happened this week. This week, this conversation happened. So in here, it's stating, when you start to take steps of faith and see God's favor, it's amazing how that you can stir up other people's jealousy, criticism, gossip, and slander. But God has put greatness in you. He's called you to stand out, to be a difference maker, to take your family to a new level. You're going to have to be thick-skinned and determined to not waste your time trying to win people over who are not happy when you succeed. Just stay focused on what God has called you to do. I was like, that is perfect. Chef's kiss. That is perfect. That is exactly what's going on right now. So it's just kind of funny. I even said this to my mom this morning, and she was like, yep, it's kind of funny how life plays out and how God is always there working in your favor. So, and even if you're not, religious, maybe we're spiritual. I mean, I'm still walking my spiritual journey as well. I mean, I grew up Catholic. From then, I was even going to like Wednesday schools. My mom would even be the teacher of that Wednesday class that we would go to. And then I kind of fell off when I was in my rebellious years of my life. Go and listen to my podcast episode of The Person Behind the Pod. I was a little hellion when I was growing up. You did not want to have me as your teenage daughter. but it's just kind of funny. So there's so much wisdom here. There's so much wisdom in the Bible that even if you're not religious or conform to Christianity, Catholicism, or you're Baptist or Buddhist, Hinduism, whatever, I mean, there's just so much wisdom in here that you can take and apply to your everyday life. So I thought that was really cool. I mean, also, even like my older brother, he's got aunts and uncles on his side who they just say the most outlandish crap. Like, my niece is actually helping me in the business. She's 15 years old, just started driving. Shout out to Tori. But they're like, Tori, why are you working for Hannah? That's stupid. Hannah is going to be caught up in some legal trouble when she's older. And it's like, oh my God, y'all, you do not understand what we're doing here. But anywho, so I thought that was a really cool little story, and I just wanted to share everything with y'all. But high level, you got to fire your friends and your family members sometimes because they are the biggest ones holding you back from your true potential, and you are in control of the story that you write for yourself. As Rick Warren always said, life is like a marathon. It doesn't matter how you start, it only matters how you finish. This is the game of life. So with that being said, it kind of gets into, our health is our wealth. Doesn't matter if it's our physical health or our mental health. There's so much that we need to pay attention to because I say it all the time, we got our 5 circles of life. And yeah, over here, I really teach in the circle of the money, the financial circle. But, you got your personal health, you got your mindset health, you got your personal relationships, your professional relationships, your spiritual relationships. So the whole goal is to have these circles and keep them all in balance because that's how you live a very fulfilled life. So I think it's very important also to kind of talk about the policies to keep your health in check because, hey, if I'm healthy, I'm taking care of myself, I can qualify for more and more policies as time goes on. Because, at the end of the day, this is life insurance, right? The insurance companies are going to look up your dress looking at your internal health, your social habits, your past history. Hey, if you've been convicted of crimes, you've had 7 DUIs in the last year, you're a smoker, all of those things play into part whether if these insurance companies will consider you for a policy or not. So it's very important, because my mother, even, shout out to mama, she is the most disciplined person I have ever met in my entire life, and I'm envious of how disciplined she is with herself. So she goes to the gym every other day. She spends some time on cardio, weightlifting. She takes care of herself in the terms of her eating habits. She actually follows this doctor. I'm going to grab the book right now. It's Dr. Gundry. This is not the book, but it's Dr. Gundry. He has the Plant Paradox book, and I'm not finding it on my bookshelf right now. This is actually the Plant Paradox cookbook, which I love. But it's a book called The Plant Paradox, and Dr. Gundry here. Oh, look. In this book, I guess I have some of my business cards. But here he is right here. This is him, Dr. Stephen Gundry. So he wrote this book. Why Mama loves it so much is because we are not very big into like the Western medicine whatsoever. My dad's a chiropractor. We're very into the holistic care of life. I mean, I'll be very blunt with y'all. I haven't had a shot since I was like 2 years old. I'll be honest, I do not get sick. I am not going to put all of that shit inside of my body so that then I can go out and just be a normal person in our Western medicine here in North America of what we should be doing. Our bodies are very capable of taking care of ourselves. So I just come from the mindset of, hey, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to get my vitamin D. I'm going to get my vitamin C. I'm going to, eat good, nutritious foods. I'm not going to eat those processed things that we have here in America. And so why she loves Dr. Gundry so much is because he had these patients that were coming to him that had cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia, and just different diagnoses. And it all stems back to the foods that we eat, and he really gets into the lectins that are produced within our bodies and these fatty tissues and inflammation that could cause from these foods that we eat, because that's our fuel. If you think about our bodies as like almost like an automobile, that is the fuel that we're putting into that automobile. And so you got to have those good foods and good roots to be the most sustainable person and having that good core energy to have mental clarity, good energy, right? Physical energy to go out and go do the things that we want to go do within our life day in and day out. So that's why Mama loves Dr. Gundry so much. She's also reading another book, Tony Robbins' Life Force. That's where she got into some of like, there's like a testing center down here in Orlando where she went in. It's called, what's it called? It's called Life Fountain, I think is what it's called. I'll get the exact name if you reach out to me and you want to know what that is. But it's a really cool thing where mom and dad went in and they did like this whole full body scan. And it's really talking about what's going on mentally and physically within our body so that we live a very long, fulfilled life. So I don't know, just me personally, I come from the holistic care background. If I do my yoga every day, I'm getting up, I'm going to the gym, moving my body. I'm not sitting my fat ass here in my working chair every single day. I mean, that's why I even have my walking pad here in my office. I'm looking at it right now. I got this sit to stand desk and I love it. I'll get on my walking pad from time to time. And when I'm doing meetings or doing Zoom calls, I'll be walking on my walking pad. So, we can only talk about money so much, but if I'm not here to have a cognitive mind to get me to being able to push my money to work for me, I mean, who the hell cares how much money I have because I don't have my wealth to go out there and live in this sustainable life for myself and pass on this wealth and this knowledge to my children, my grandchildren, and those future generations to come. So your health is really your wealth. I think your health should be at the top of your priority list and things that you're taking care of for yourself. And not just physical health, it's our mental health as well, right? I mean, I've been struggling with the burnout, just pushing myself so far to that extra mile that you need to take breaks. It is important to take breaks from your day in today activities within your business. And it kind of even follows into that the one book, Dan Sullivan, Who Not How. You cannot do everything. I know you want to do everything because you think that you are the best person to do these things, because I get it. I do the same exact thing that, hey, why would I turn this on to somebody else? Because I know myself. I know I'm going to be closing the deals. I don't want to give that responsibility to somebody else because I don't know if they're going to close these people or communicate the message as great as what I can be. So it's important to have those good who's within your office, within your family, to support you so that you can focus on what you do best. I mean, yeah, you cannot be that one person to handle everything within your business or within your family. You can't be the mother to go in there, bathe the children, cook the food, do the dishes, do the laundry, and make the money in the family. This is why we have these partnerships that we enter into, those marriage contractual agreements with our partner, because, hey, this is a 50-50 relationship here. I'm going to come 50% of the way, and I expect you to come 50% of the way. Or what I even like to say, you show up 100%, I'm going to show up 100%, not just even 50%. So mental health is so important. I've been in therapy as well, and sometimes I feel like I don't even need it. I just get on the phone with my therapist, and it's kind of funny because I think that I don't need to meet with her that day, but there will be some things that come out of the conversation that I'm like, those things are kind of bothering me. I'm glad that I talked with you and just talk these things through. So it's good to talk things through with people. Also, I journal a lot. I think it's important that we should be even journaling and just writing things out on paper. I'm very big into just energy, right? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. And once I leave this physical earth, my energy is going to go somewhere. I believe that we as human beings do not know. We just do not have the capability to understand where we're going to go after this life that we're here living on this planet right now. And so, just even with that, I like to journal because it gets my energy out there on paper so that then I can digress inside of my body. I can get things out. I can get that energy out there on the paper to not have to worry about those things anymore. So once you really master the game of your health and your wellness, you can then start mastering the money game, because health, right? I mean, health is the biggest thing when it comes to just even when people are passing prematurely. My dad being a chiropractor, he's always said that, the number one reason of the cause of death here in America is heart disease. And what's the lead of heart disease? It's stress. And what's the lead of stress? Most of the time, it's money and it's financial problems. So I think that having that financial mindset and keep evolving that, plus keep evolving our health and our wellness and the marriage between those both, that is really what's going to accelerate us to that next step within our lifestyle. So I also think that's very important is just to breathing, meditation, getting back to center. Because even there's this one yogi that I follow. Go on YouTube and look up Yoga with Adriene. Love her. She talks all the time about how, just, hey, thank you for just showing up today. The hardest part is just to show up. And then once you show up and you start that yoga practice, it's smooth sailing from there. And so she really intertwines breath work with the moving of the yoga to get us to that place of calmness. And with that, just having us going back to just our breath and just being here in this present moment, that really reduces a lot of the stress. Because if you think about it, the stress comes from us thinking about past or future events that have happened and things that we can't control because we're not even there yet, or we're past that time and we can't go back into the past and fix those things. Unless, you're oh my gosh, what's his name? I'm blanking right now. It's from the movie Back to the Future. Actually, I just had like a whole big like movie theme on Back to the Future on Netflix right now. They have all three Back to the Future movies. It was so good. It was so good to go back and reminisce on some of those movies. Oh my gosh, but I can't think of his name right now. He was so good. But we can't go back to the past and change some things, because if we do too, if we go back to the past and we have that capability of like time travel and stuff, I mean, it's just going to affect future events moving forward, right? Go and watch those movies, y'all. Go back and rewatch those movies. They're pretty damn good movies. So I just want to come in and just pop in as a big PSA that, get back to your core roots of taking care of yourself, being mindful of what you put into your body, being mindful of getting out there, moving your body, and being mindful of what you are spending your thoughts on, and getting yourself back to center to take back the control of your mindsets and your habits. Because from there, it's going to be so much easier to start incorporating new financial principles within your life. So I knew this episode wasn't going to be so long. Seek out professional advice if you need it. There's been a lot of times like when I was going through like my struggle days where I was just like, hey, I don't even know if I want to be here on this planet anymore. Yeah, I've had some of those like thoughts where I don't know if I want to be here. I talk to even like a lot of like my vets who have very severe PTSD and different things, and they go through some of that mindset as well. So it's just important to seek out community and professional help when you need it, and it's okay to ask for help. So I knew this episode wasn't going to be so much geared to IBC, but this is just a big PSA reminder to take care of yourself. Talk with people, be honest with yourself, and be honest with other people of what's really going on within your life. Because I'm telling you right now, some of these poor decisions, poor mindset, poor even financial decisions, this could even lead you to roads that you don't want to see yourself going down. So those are just some of my tips of what I'm actively doing to create those routines. And yes, we've all got busy schedules, right? I mean, this is why a lot of the big top income earners, wealthy individuals, millionaires and billionaires, they get up before the day even starts. The world is still calm out there so that then they can focus on themselves before they get into that busy schedule of serving other people. So treat yourself as your number one asset. To tie it back to the IBC concept, rule number one that I always talk about is pay yourself first. Treat yourself as your number one asset. When you get money that comes in through the door, you should be taking a sliver of it. I tell you at least 10%. Take a sliver of it and move it to the side. You pay yourself first. Treat yourself as you are your own employee. So you paying yourself first, that's you paying yourself your own salary. Take that, go pay yourself first, and then go pay everybody else next. The house people, the car people, gasoline people, the cat food people, right? Go and pay yourself first before you pay anybody else next. Treat yourself as your number one asset. I think the best way to do this too, and I've talked about it from time to time, is that the money that we're keeping in savings for ourselves, if we are the person that we're making 20 grand a month and our expenses are 12,000, well, don't just leave the leftover 8 down at the local bank, and the bankers are the number one assets, and the bankers are making the profits on all of your money. Start by shifting that and keeping the savings money. That should be the dollars that start to flow through your policy. So just prioritize this stuff, really prioritize and take those proactive steps. And it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some days where you don't have the motivation, but I'm going to shout him out again. Jason Sipple, he always talks to me about, hey, do you want the pain of discipline or do you want the pain of regret? And over here, I want the pain of discipline, because even myself, I know that, okay, if I'm in the mindset where I don't want to go out and go ride my bike on the beach, I don't want to go downstairs and go to the gym and lift some weights. But then once I really do that and I'm done with my workout or just going out there and taking a walk or riding my bike, I have this sense of clarity within my mind that I can go and move on to the next level. I would even say too, like there's some times where I have to take breaks within my day where I'm looking at a task or a problem that I have on hand and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to solve this right now. When I go and I leave this office chair and I go do something else for a few hours and I come back to it, it's just clear to me. There's some clarity there that I know what this answer is. And it was just me having to take a break for a quick second. So, those are just some of my PSA reminders I want to share with y'all. So take this, start implementing it. Knowledge is nothing without the implementation of it. And I encourage you, think for yourself in question and keep following the content. Reminder, y'all, we got the mastermind that's coming up in October of this year, October 10, 11, 12. Go to themoneyMultiplier.com/mastermind 2024, and you can go and reserve your ticket on there. And it's just 100% educational, just to pour into you, to understand deeper of how I can use this within my personal life, my business life, my tax planning life, estate planning, and just different things. And I got a lot of close friends that are coming out too. So people that you've maybe met me through. Larry Steinhaus will be there, Justin Lofty, Anthony Brister. Shout out to all of y'all. You guys are doing amazing, amazing things. So I am here. I want to keep supporting you and just sharing the knowledge that I have built up to this point, because that's what it is at the end of the day, in this human connection that we have with one another. Keep sharing, keep filling into other people's cups, and it'll just come right back around to you. If you help enough people get what they want, you in return will get what you want. So I'm always here. Keep me posted. Next week, I'm going to have some more episodes that get deeper into the IBC concept. But for here, I just kind of wanted to do a sole episode on living a very fulfilled lifestyle health-wise, because all of this really starts to integrate together all in one another. So with that being said, thank you for being here for today's episode. Reach out to me if you got questions. Email me, podcast@themoneymultiplier.com. I'm here to always answer questions for y'all. Go to our website, themoneymultiplier.com. Underneath the resources tab, you can see our events that we are speaking at, live, virtual ones. And with that being said, hit the subscribe button. That helps the channel out. Leave a comment down below. Share the episode. And I'll see you back next week for another episode. So until then, have a wonderful, most beautiful week. Keep treating yourself as your number one asset. And I am here in your corner rooting you on. So love y'all. I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.